students. Today we are going to learn a very different but very interesting topic, personality development. Hope this will help to improve your personality to a greater extent. Okay, Sam, what is personality development? What is a personality? Personality is a pattern of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And these pattern of your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors makes you different from each other. That means it is the relatively enduring pattern of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that distinguish individuals from each other. So, personality emerges early in life, from childhood, and continues to develop across one's lifespan. So, the basis is infancy. Infant temperament is the basis of an adult personality. Individual differences in disposition and behavior appears early in life. So early that even before the development of conscious self-representation. So personality is said to be evolved greatly from childhood. Your personality is instinct with you from your early childhood. So even if personality evolves greatly from childhood, it is an improvement. There is an improvement in all spheres of an individual in the life. Your behavior with friends, your attitude towards anything. These are all matters with the personality. That is, your personality is the type of person you are. Your personality makes you the type of person you are. And this personality is shown by the way you behave, feel, and think. Your attitude, over your overall attitude towards anything, that makes you. All animals, including humans, are born with some inbuilt instincts to perform adaptive behaviors. For example, all animals have the behavior of food seeking. They are similar, more or less similar in seeking food. But humans have more complex behaviors. That is, they have a food storing behavior. So humans are always different from other animals, and they have more complex behaviors. Humans have more complex behaviors. So there is a need for a theoretical platform to understand human personality. So human personality is considered from an evolutionary perspective. See, from biological sense, all are born with a unique genotype with some inbuilt instincts. But as they grow up, they undergo certain behavioral process, a social shaping process, etc. that create a unique characteristics of the individual. So, yeah, infant temperament forms the basis for the personality development, but there are influential factors such as genetics, environment, gene environment, interaction, etc. That means the personality. Every human born borns with some inbuilt personalities, inbuilt instincts. But as they grow up, the situation or the environment around them influences them a lot in their personality development. So there are different stages in the life cycle of a individual. We know development of an organism starts from the womb of the mother, and he passes through different stages before attaining maturity. Until this time, The child needs help of others. After attaining maturity, he is supposed to play an important and responsible role in the society. So, as we said, personality is created or evolved from the time of infancy. So, infancy forms the first stage in a life cycle of an individual. Infancy is a period from birth to 5 years, up to 5 years. There is a period of infancy. And then childhood from about 6 to 12 years. 6 to 12 years are considered as childhood. And during these two stages of life, infancy and childhood, that means from birth to up to 12 years, the children, they need more nurturing than others, because human child needs more nurturing to grow up well than comparing with other animals. They need human child no need more nurturing and care from the parents. Yet there is some inbuilt instincts in them from birth. And the third stage is the adolescence. That is the period of 12 to 18 years. As we said, in the period of infancy or childhood, childhood is the period of slow and steady growth. That means there is growth, but the childhood is characterized by slow, steady, and uniform growth. At this stage, the brain of the child acquires nearly its adult size and weight. And at this stage, the child desires independence. And by acquiring experience and developing physically, intellectually, and socially, the child tries to adjust himself in his environment. And the childhood is a period of emotional stability. From the childhood, a child learns to hide his feelings. He can control his emotions and express them in appropriate and socially improved ways. For example, if a child gets angry, he does not let it be exhibited. He does not expose his angriness. He gets frightened but tries to show his bravery. So at this stage, child develops some social tendencies and picks up so many social virtues. And at the time of childhood, he now starts thinking the company of others. The joining to other groups makes him feel happy. So at this stage, feeling of mutual cooperation, team spirit, and group loyalties are developed. And at this same stage, other people can influence the personality of the child. Although he has some inbuilt instincts in him, other people can influence the personality of a child to a great extent. And coming to the next stage, that is the adolescence. It is the period of intensive growth and change in nearly all aspects like physical, mental, social, and emotional life. They attain more physical development, rapid weight gain, harsh voice, etc. There is a great rapid physical development, rapid emotional development, and greater social development, intellectual development, etc. And even moral and religious development greatly happens during the adolescence period. So there is a rapid change from a childhood to an adolescence, a rapid development in his physical, social, intellectual, emotional developments. And coming to the next one, adulthood. Adulthood is a period from 19 to about 64 years. During this stage, people try to explore personal relationships and they develop close, committed relationship with other people, and a strong sense of self identity is necessary to develop intimate relationships. If a person fails to develop intimate and committed relationship, it means that he is with a poor sense of self. Such persons are likely to suffer emotional isolation, loneliness, and depression. And greatly during adulthood, a person focus their attention on their own career and family. They are involved greater to with their family. And those who are successful during this phase will feel that they are contributing to the world because they are active in their home and community. So they feel that they are contributing something to the world. That means they feel somewhat that they are successful. And those who fail to attain this skill will feel unproductive or uninvolved in the world. Next one is the next stage is the old age, or even it could be considered as late adulthood. Late adulthood is generally considered to be from the age up to the age of 65. Normally there are more physical changes happens during this period. Certain physical changes that include decrease in the rate of neural process, the respiratory and circulatory systems become less efficient, increased constipation, bone mass diminishes, and this can lead to bone density disorders. Muscles become weaker unless exercise programs are followed. And skin dries and becomes less flexible, hair loss, etc. Certain physical changes happens during the old age. And there are changes in their social life. Usually at the old age, during old age, people withdraw from the society. This may be because old people want away from responsibilities and difficult roles. People who remain active in all respects, physically, mentally, and socially, adjust better to the aging process. But in society, older people are forced to retirement. And there is intellectual changes also at this stage. The ability to see and to use patterns and relationships to solve problems does decline. And those who are unsuccessful during this phase will feel that their life has been wasted and will experience many regrets. Usually, the individual at this stage will be left with feelings of bitterness and despair. So, there are some personality characteristics. As we said, their personality is greatly inbuilt from the infancy, but it grows up across the lifespan of an individual. There are some personality characteristics. The personality is the organized behavior of an individual, and so there are certain characteristics of personality: self image or self scheme, achievement, affiliation, self extension, power, self concept, self meaning, self esteem, perception, image and imagery, attitude, self development. So, what is the self image or self scheme? Image is about how you see yourself and how you believe others see you. So, self image is the opinion about oneself. It forms the mirror reflection of behavior, performance, and personality. It is a result of one's physical presence, behavior, and communication skills. So, this creates an image in public and also enables to form an opinion about oneself. So, this self image forms the way you behave, the way you think, and the way and the attitude. These are reflected in your overall behavior, and even this is reflected in your facial expressions too. So, this is the way how you think yourself. So, this forms the opinion about oneself. Self image is the opinion about oneself. And self image direct the mental thoughts in a particular direction. The body responds to the thoughts in terms of behavior and performance. So, it is necessary to think in a positive direction and reject the negative ones. Positive or negative thoughts affect behavior, personality, and performance through body movements and language as well as by facial expressions. Your thought will be reflected in your facial expressions. So, the way you think would be reflected in your behavior and would be reflected in your facial expressions. The process of self image gets transformed into your behavior, habits, and even performance. The inner mind always reflects the same thoughts to the outside. So, there is your own thought and feelings in your inner mind, and this inner mind always reflects them outside through your face or through your behavior to others, etc. This is why a person who keeps himself isolated from his friends, the society, and community and behaves rigidly or expresses bitterly has poor self image factor. So, how can we improve the self image? The most important thing to improve the self image is to change the negative thoughts to positive ones and building a strong self esteem. View oneself accurately. Our thoughts can make us feel better. So, delete the negative thoughts from you. Change the negative thoughts to the positive and build a self esteem, a strong self esteem, and view oneself accurately. Do not assume others to be like that. View oneself accurately and make changes that are useful. Make useful changes within you. For example, you can change the way you appear, you can change the way of your clothing, your hairstyle, your behavior. So, make some positive changes, the changes that are most useful to make you better, to make you feel better. And always accept criticism constructively to improve oneself. Accept the criticism from others and use the criticism to make you change better. Use that, use the criticism for your development of personality. Okay, students, we shall continue on the next class.